Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we brought in this Type B asteroid, and at this point we need to start mining it. Now, I'm a little bit wondering why this is actually bent. I feel like it shouldn't be. I think that this is actually just like loaded a little bit weird. Looking at the offset there, I don't know. That's very strange. But we're going to move this to a target angle of about 15 degrees. And I think that we can go for about the same angling that we did previously with this asteroid size. So we're going to move this guy in maybe 15 as well. Let's see how that ends up looking. Maybe go to the full 30 that we did previously. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we can turn this in to be maybe not quite 90 degrees, but we'll see what it looks like with like 70. Because this is a little bit larger of an asteroid. Maybe about 80. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll go ahead and make sure that this is armed. It is armed. And we are going to extend it on out until we grab. That was definitely a longer extension than I thought it was. We were a bit deceptive there because of this outcropping, but that is absolutely fine. So we'll do the same thing up over here. We will set this to be a 15-degree angle. If I can get to 15. There we go. And then we'll set this to be, I think, about a 30 again. It seems to work. 30 degree. And then this was, what, 80? Yeah, that's 80. So we'll set this to be an 80-degree angle. So right to here. Make sure that that's armed. It is. And then we will extend this on out as we get back to our normal positioning here. There we go. That looks good. And we'll just extend that slowly. And we're grabbed. Okay, so that should hold this fairly firm. Now, the Class A asteroid with just these 4 miners mined out incredibly fast. So there is that. We're going to have these head out to 90 degrees. So about here. There we go. And I'm just checking the angling. Yeah, that looks absolutely fine. We will extend this guy out. Is that on backwards? That one's on backwards, but it doesn't actually matter. We'll extend this out to be somewhere around, I don't know, 1.2. That looks pretty decent to me. And this one to about 1.2 as well. It doesn't need to be this close, but that is fine. And we will deploy these drills. We can see that their core temperature is actually still dropping from the last mine that the last asteroid that we mined. And then we'll extend these radiators. They look absolutely awful in this position, but they don't self-collide. So I guess that's okay. And just checking. Yeah, that looks like that should be fine. And we can start our harvesters. I'm interested in seeing how quickly this one mines out. It does have more mass there, but let's just see. We'll start this asteroid harvester. Oh, that mines very fast still. Okay. Yeah, you can see it's already mining incredibly quickly. Now, I do expect that this holding tank might actually... No, I don't think it's going to get full. This holding tank is not going to fill up. I do want to start liquid fuel and oxidizer. Oh, we were already working on that. Okay, sounds good. So we should be filling it up over here. Yes. I wanted to ultimately fill the Rockamax Jumbo 64 over here, but for now, this is fine. I don't know that we're going to get enough to do that. Another thing that we could do is... No, we can't make xenon. Never mind. That's fine. Now that we have power coming in here from the sun, that will help a lot, because our electric charge was dropping. But this is completely fine now. So we've got this asteroid mining. And the question is, do we feel like crashing it into Kerbal? And we're done. Man, that's fast. We're going to retract this because we are completely done with it. So we're going to retract all of these drills, including this one as well, if I can get it. Okay, that one's already going. And we'll retract this one too. Once those are retracted, then we will... Actually, we can just immediately unextend this. There we go. And fold it back up. Voila. Okay, we can release these grabbing units now. And we can start folding these arms back up. There we go. Get that one going, and this one as well. Cool. And we can retract this guy as well as this guy. It's going a little bit crazy right now. We can turn SAS on to attempt to not be doing that. Did you re-grab over here? It actually re-grabbed over here. That's pretty funny. We'll disarm that advanced grabbing unit for now, and we'll get that traversed over to B flat. Cool. Okay. Next thing that I'm going to do is right about here, I'm going to time warp to freeze the physics a bit. There we go. We don't want to pick up a Kraken. So we will now release this guy and hope that that's all good. No Kraken? We shouldn't pick up a Kraken here. It's a little bendy. There's no doubt about that. That was always going to be the case. We'll just let it come on back. Okay, I'm going to freeze the physics here, and we'll let it start from there. Cool. Now, we are still working on our ore processing here, so we don't exactly want to detach right now. And we still have a lot of xenon gas in this, but we're going to want to fill that up here. So for now, all we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on this ore, and we're just going to allow that ore to process a bit. There we go. So we can see here our liquid fuel is getting better, but this is not a lot of liquid fuel, if I'm honest. Like, we have a lot of storage capacity here. So there we go. There's that asteroid mined out. And we can move that over into... Yeah, we don't need that asteroid pinned open. We can move that out into the Rockamax. So in. And over goes that fuel. It's not going to completely fill it up. I'm not surprised about that. We're just trying to use up our smaller asteroids right now. We're going to go after bigger asteroids soon. So we'll just go ahead and release our advanced grabbing unit right... Actually, I'm going to release this advanced grabbing unit. And we are going to swap over to this guy. I want to make sure that's still armed. It is. I want to try to just attach it over here, I feel like. Okay, so we'll hold it like right here. Hold position. And then we will set this asteroid as our target. We're going to head off over this direction. We need to activate that engine. And then flip around to target retrograde. I want to just park this thing at the station for right now. Okay. So we'll position it right about here. And once we get a little bit more in position here, in fact, this is probably reasonably good enough. We're going to kill our relative velocity. And now we will switch around here. Which way is which? Okay. That's awkward. The hardest part of doing this is figuring out which directions go which ways. Okay. And I just want to attach this guy in right about here. Okay. We'll go in at 0.5 meters per second. And we're just going to try to grab onto this modular girder segment. I think the grabbing arm can do that. I'm pretty sure. Because I don't want this thing to leave the station right now. We've got plenty of juice in this tug that we can't replenish because it's xenon gas, and that's okay. So we're going to go grab our other asteroid that is in orbit right now and bring that in. That is our current goal. Okay, we grabbed. Fantastic. So that'll do. And at this point, we want to release this unit, and we will retract that arm. There we go. And here is our asteroid. And now we should be able to run this thing at basically full-ish thrust, I hope. I hope we can run it at full thrust. But we need to crash this thing somewhere. And I'm feeling that Kerbal might be a funny place to crash it. That said, this we don't want to crash. So we're just going to go over to retrograde. Orbital retrograde. Are we clear of the station? Yes, we are clear of the station. And we're going to position orbital retrograde and then bring this periapsis on down. Or rather, we're controlling from the wrong point, aren't we? Control from here, thanks. Orbital retrograde. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, why are we burning, like, away from Kerbal? That didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then I was like, hang on a moment. Okay, so orbital retrograde. And are we able to hold this attitude with this thing attached? We'll find out. We will find out. Okay, so I'm going to physics warp here. It looks like we are mostly holding the attitude. That's good enough. Our electric charge is plummeting. Fair enough. So we're only operating a couple of engines right now because of our electric charge. But all we need to do is get this periapsis down. Wait, what am I doing? I'm physics warping near the station. Where is the station at? Hopefully we're far enough away from the station, but judging by the lag, I'm not sure we are. Yeah, can't switch vessels right now. This looks like it's fine. Broadly. Okay. And then this unloaded. Sounds good. So we're going to switch over to the asteroid. Now we can physics warp. We got a little lucky that that was safe. That was, well, that it ended up being safe. That was a deeply unsafe maneuver. Our electric charge is increasing. I think that I want to rotate this a little bit to be kind of like that. Yeah, that's going to make our electric charge better. Okay. So we're bringing down this periapsis. We just want the asteroid to burn up in the atmosphere, so we're just going to dip that down to be like 40 kilometers. We're not even going to look at it disappearing into the atmosphere. We're just going to burn it up there, and we will then bring this tug elsewhere. We've got plenty of delta V to use this tug again, so that'll be fine. 200 kilometers here is the periapsis. We'll bring it down to like 40. 150. 100. Okay. It might squash a city. We'll see. Actually, KSP doesn't do that, but it may very well squash a city. But we're then just going to go ahead and release this. And we will disarm this grabbing arm. We're now going to burn this way. Oh, I destroyed that solar panel. That is my own fault. Can we not? Can we not, please? Thanks. That's definitely my own fault. I'm just going to unextend this. Oh, right. They're all linked. I guess this is fine for now. Okay, we're going to burn over this way a little bit just to give ourselves a little clearance. There we go. And now we're going to go back to prograde. Because we don't want this thing to enter the atmosphere. Okay, so we're going to watch our periapsis here. And you can see that we are accelerating away from this guy. That's absolutely fine. And we're just going to bring this up. We're now out of the Atmo. And we're not going to be intersecting anything. Losing that solar panel is definitely my own fault. I should have anticipated that. But what else do we have for asteroids? We've got an asteroid redirector class A around the moon. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on there. How much delta V do you have? Do we need to bring in this thing? Or can we just leave it where it's at for the moment? 333 delta V. That's really not very much delta V here. Okay. I think that we should bring in our bigger tug. So that would be the asteroid redirector class B that we would switch to. And we then need to take that out to the moon. That'll be fine. No real problem there in theory. So let's go ahead and set Moon as our target. We shouldn't need to do an inclination change. And we would probably want to burn to the Moon around here-ish. That's not terrible, actually. Bringing in something like that. I like it. So that'll be in about 4 minutes that we start that burn. For the time being, we will bank up electric charge, and apparently we can't warp to this. That's exciting. We can manually warp, though. Okay. And we want this to be at 50%. There we go. So we'll start that burn in a few seconds here. It's a 4 minute and 37 second burn, but we should be able to physics warp it. And we'll just continue to warp. Okay. And we will burn this now. Now, how are we doing on electric charge? Yeah, you can definitely see we're draining our electric charge pretty well. We'll physics warp it. Losing that Gigantor does hurt a bit, but we should be okay. So off we go to the Moon. We've got lots of xenon gas in this, and we might be able to refuel a little bit from that probe that's currently attached to it. We'll see if we... I've never tried to transfer xenon, but I don't see why that wouldn't work. Unless they specifically disallowed that, which would be weird to me. So I guess we'll find out. We've got about 400 meters per second to go in this burn, and our electric charge is going to run out eventually. So there is that. 250 meters per second to go. And we are going to run out of electric charge soon-ish. 150 meters per second. 100. We are officially out of electric charge now. And you can see that these engines are actually still all operating. I'm surprised by that, but sure. Maybe they're just not quite at peak efficiency. Yeah, prop requirement met. So we're just not at peak efficiency for some of them. Okay. That's probably good enough. Yes, it is. So at the Moon here, we are going to, and look at how quickly we recharge that battery. At the Moon here, we're going to burn retrograde and enter orbit. And this should be absolutely fine. 283 meters per second will be okay. No problem whatsoever there. And we'll go ahead and warp to that. Cool. In about a minute, we will begin our braking burn. And we'll do so about 2, 1, now. There we go. This doesn't appear to be changing. Hang on. What? Wait, what? What exactly happened here? That's a little wild. Apparently we never actually got an encounter. Let's set Moon as target. This way, we're going this way. What happens if we burn towards target? That's wild. That was definitely not what the game said was going to happen, but we'll see what we get here. We may still be able to salvage an encounter out of this with some extra Delta V. Not like we're short on Delta V. So let's see what we get. Yeah, that's certainly a little wild. I have no idea how we missed that. But sure. Okay, so at this point we've killed basically all of our horizontal velocity. And we are now going to be burning towards the Moon. Okay. We're picking up some additional horizontal velocity. Now we're going this direction. We flipped our orbit around. Which could be awkward for us, but I think it'll be okay. All we need is an encounter here. And there we go. This'll do. We are retrograde to the way we want to be, but that's fine. We're going to flip this around to be just a minimal orbit. And you can see here, it's definitely real awkward in terms of the delta V requirements. It's a lot more. I don't know how we missed that encounter, if I'm honest. But sure. We'll head on in over here. It's definitely a lot more delta V than it needed to be. There's no doubt about that one. But we can get this flipped around. We're going to have to flip around because we're going this direction, retrograde to the asteroid. That's not great. Not ideal for us at all, but we can flip this around, no problem. It'll take a little more delta V. In fact, this is going to be a lot more delta V to recover this, but that's fine. All I'm planning to do with this particular ferry is to bring in just this asteroid. Future asteroids will come from the ferry that's on the station. So that should be fine. 2, 1, 0. Okay? We're going to physics warp that, because that is very necessary at this point. Otherwise, this will be a pretty lengthy burn. Now, we could flip around with this burn, but it's actually a little bit more efficient because of our current periapsis here, I think. Yeah, it's a little more efficient to flip it around at the moon apoapsis, so that's what we'll do. 200 meters per second to go here. And 120, 100, 80, 60, 40, 20. Let's take it out of physics warp. And all we're looking for is an orbit. We don't care about what the orbit is. Okay, that'll do. At the apoapsis, we will burn retrograde to flip our orbit to be something kind of like this. We could push it back out and circularize. I feel like that's pointless. We could bring it in to be something kind of like this, and that'll do just fine. Okay, so let's warp over to that. That'll be in about a day. No problem there. And we're going to start our burn here momentarily. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay. So our orbit will flip. And that's only a minor amount of delta V. Yeah, we burned a lot of xenon gas. There's no doubt about that. Okay. This was definitely not the efficient way to do this. There's no doubt about that one. But it works. It does work, that's for sure. Actually, the amount of delta V to circularize this is minimal, and that will make it easier to intercept. So we may as well circularize it, I think. Sure, that'll do. So we'll set this as our target now, and we can see... What? Were we going the right direction? Hang on. Are we going the wrong way now? Do we need to flip this around again? We do. I am dumb. Okay. Well. How did I think we were coming in the wrong way there? I don't know. I'm all sorts of discombobulated, it seems. So that's going to be exciting. We should actually do this at the apoapsis. No, not that. Thank you. We should do this at the apoapsis. So let's move this over. And it'll need to be a little bit more retrograde, or I guess a little more prograde from here. Yeah. Something kind of like that. Wild. I don't know. This has not gone well. Luckily, it doesn't have to. So we are going to bring this around. I can't believe I did that. Turned it all the way around and we didn't need to. I was certain we were coming in the wrong direction. We were, weren't we? I'm certain we were. We were going... No, we weren't, because we came in this way. Yeah. Wild. I just was convinced we were going to come in the wrong direction, and it was just never true. Huh. Well, that's entirely my own fault. We'll get this flipped around. It's, once again, not a huge deal. There we go. It is flipped and pushing back out. Fantastic. Then we can get our inclination correct, at long last. This has definitely not been my most efficient intercept. I'm not gonna lie, this is in fact perhaps the least efficient intercept that I have ever done in my life. This delta V is incredibly minimal to get this to the correct inclination. 1.7 meters per second. Sounds good. We're gonna warp over to that and get that done. And then we're gonna get ourselves an intercept and get locked onto this thing. Okay. Right now is absolutely fine to burn this. So we're just gonna get that down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That'll do. And let's look at an intercept here. What would it look like to do this? Okay, we're just going to need to change our timing. If I can grab this, there we go. Cool. 11.8 kilometers. Let's see what we can get just from tuning timing. 2 kilometers. 0.7, 0.6, 5. Half a kilometer is fine. Oh, that's too much. Too much again. Too much again. Exciting. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. I was planning to be hooked onto that asteroid at this point, but my interception went very poorly. I did not play that well at all. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Punching the Microphone apparently, although that's not a channel member. If you're named Punching the Microphone and you become a channel member, that would be amazing. But it's probably not going to happen. And everyone else. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.